Hey guys, King of Trials here to be your judge, your jury, and your analyst, and today I bring to you practice battles. Thank you to MrBugThug for helping me out with this. We both work in the education career field, so after he was done with work, he decided to help me out, and we got some practice battles done. And it was actually a good eye-opener, and it really shows just how budget picks can possibly shine in this cup. I throw Aboma Snow XL out here, but you don't see any Cradleys, etc. But I will show you just like what matchups budget picks actually beat. So after doing practice with MrBugThug, seeing how these Pokemon perform actually gives me a good idea of how the Weather Cup is, even with XLs. So while XLs do dominate, it's actually a lot more XL friendly than Open Ultra League would, just because there's very few you will see, and it's not likely you'll see them at all, just because Cradley is kind of like an off-centered XL, and there are things in here like Blaziken, Walrein, Aboma Snow XL that can actually do some damage against Cradley. So Kingdra Save Switch, a whole bunch of different combinations. We're going to throw you a chew for this practice battles. But before you get started, this is going to be my therapist's mental health tip of the day, and you can skip this straight to the battles if you go 2 minutes ahead, or if you go to the chapters below. There's a reason I put chapters. But this is going to be about gratitude. So this is an article for Psychology Today. Psychology Today is a very great resource. It has a lot of articles from licensed clinicians, etc. So as you see, I'm going to have one from Gratitude, and these articles are also reviewed by staff. So these are articles before they're even published. So this is a great resource for just anything psychology or mental health related. So for gratitude, why does gratitude matter? Psychologists find that over time, feeling gratitude boosts happiness and fosters both physical and psychological health, even though among those already struggling with mental health problems. So studies show that practicing gratitude curbs the use of expressing negative emotions and shifts inner attention away from negative emotions such as resentment and envy, minimizing the possibility of ruminating, which is a hallmark of depression. So being grateful is a really great way to treat major depression as well as depressive symptoms, and to show what you have versus what you don't have, or to be grateful of what has. It's a big part of mindfulness and a big part of evidence-based practices nowadays. So, and also being grateful can help you engage in better self-care. So take a look at this article, read it. Gratitude is very important, and I'm very grateful for you. I'm very grateful for MrBugThug, and very grateful that I have a community, even though I've been working with this. But yeah, I'm very grateful for the community I have, because I never imagined how this much success as a content creator. And without further ado, these are my practice battles with MrBugThug. Thank you again, MrBugThug. He's an amazing battler. Thank you so much, and he's gonna flex on me pretty hard during his practice battles, and you'll see why. And let's get started. Alright, here are the battles. Thank you to MrBugThug again. And for this one, we have Walrein, and then Walrein is a great league because it beats Cradley. It also beats Swampert as well. So as you see, we got Cloyster onto Walrein. I forgot that Cloyster even exists, but here's the interesting thing. Cloyster it has Icy Wind, as you see here, and it doesn't do a lot of damage. So the fact that MrBugThug is staying in tells me he doesn't like Walrein, but this is going to be a really long match because there's no reason for me to swap out here. And Cloyster outside of Samurott and Fury Cutter, there's not really much I can do with super effective damage here. It's better to just stay in here, but MrBugThug makes this fantastic catch onto Gyarados. That's incredible. So the catch goes through. I'm going to switch to Swampert though. So here's why Swampert versus Gyarados isn't necessarily a super bad matchup. Because you get the Hydro Cannon so quickly, you're going to chunk. And Gyarados is actually a good budget pick for this cup. With Dragon Breath, you could do a ton of junk damage. You also beat Kingdra if you're the Gyarados user, because Kingdra doesn't take super effective damage and Gyarados doesn't against Kingdra if you get that. So that's a fun little fact if you're using Gyarados versus Kingdra. It can also wall Poliwrath, and it can wall Poliwrath, and it's still beastly as a flying type. It also gives Blaziken a hard time outside getting Brave Bird. And as you see here, because of this Hydro Cannon pressure, unfortunately, it's still a great matchup. MrBugThug has to give up Switch here, and then he's going to likely shield this. If not, it's going to do big damage. And as you see, this 6-9-4-20 Earthquake normally goes through and will KO. Earthquakes happen a lot in California, so 69420's earthquakes, hopefully something of not that magnitude hits California, because I'm in California, so I don't need that to happen. There's too many earthquakes anyways. Anyways, my play here is to literally just farm down. Wall Rain with energy is still incredibly dangerous in this meta. Wall Rain, again, does beat things like Cradily. It also beats a lot. It also is able to give Aboma Snow a hard time if you don't get energy balled, and we get a Glowseopod in the back. Glowseopod is also a very good pick for this cup. Shadow Claw is the preferred moveset, but you can also run Fury Cutter, and the reason you can run Fury Cutter is also against Aboma Snow. So as you see here, I got Samurott. Samurott does have Mega Horn. Mega Horn isn't resisted, unfortunately, so it's going to do big damage. So as you see here, I get the shield, and then all I'm going to do is go straight Mega Horn. Plan here is to literally just hit Mega Horn and then combo into Wall Raid. If somehow I can't get to Mega Horn, or I feel like I can't, then alright, it's gonna go through. It's fine because Wall Rain has so much energy anyways. All I have to do is chip and breed, and I mean, BugThug actually sacks here. So he's making all the right plays, and that was incredibly impressive considering it's a one-turn fast move. So impressive sack swap by BugThug, but it doesn't really matter because I can still get to a Hydro Cannon here, and I have so much energy loaded on Wall Rain, I could just Weather Ball to victory. So again, very impressive to BugThug. He literally tried everything and pulled the kitchen sink to try to come out with a dub, but Wall Rain with energy is still incredibly oppressive, and as you see here, does very well. Again, I like Wall Rain a lot just because of the fact that it's able to beat... It threatens Tentacruel, it beats Swampert, and it also beats Cradily. So it's a very good mon. It takes neutral damage from things like Talonflame and Charizard. So next to the fire types, we got Swampert, Glowseopod, Safe Switch, and Samurott. This is a double Safe Switch team. Both function as great safe swaps. We have Incineroar in the lead right here. Believe it or not, Incineroar actually is a pretty interesting pick. So as you see, Dark Pulse does a lot of damage against Swampert. However, you're going to get the two Hydro Cannons just because Swampert's so freaking oppressive. It really is. As you see, Hydro Cannons are going to break shields. And this would be the same situation if this was a Charizard or a Talonflame. I get Lapras swapped into me, and I'm going to go straight X-Scissor. As you see, this is why Shadow Claw is such a beast, because with Shadow Claw, you could get to X-Scissor really quickly here. And Glowseopod is a very good pick in this cup. Except I get why BugThug was using Fury Cutter. Again, if you're going to go against Aboma Snow, Fury Cutter does super effective damage, and it will put Aboma Snow in a lot of danger, just because even though you take neutral damage from Energy Ball, you do resist Weather Ball, so it's very rough on your opponent. Especially here, because BugThug is going straight for Surfs, I sense that they don't have Skull Bash, or they're trying to break one of my shields. Either way, they don't really want to shield anyways, because all I'm going to do, I mean Skull Bash anyways, because I'm just going to farm them down at this point. So we're going to farm down Lapras. Lapras is allowed in this cup. I wouldn't use it though. It's not very good. As you see here, this is a great demonstration how Lapras just absolutely gets chunked away by things like Glowseopod. Blaziken also has a great time punching it to death. And as you see here, we get the Incineroar back. We're going to fire this Aqua Jet. And then I still have loaded energy on Swampert, which I'm going to swap into. And I'm going to Hydro Cannon down. Now, here's the thing. I actually misplayed the holy crap out of this. So, as you see, what we get in the back is we're going to get a Lapras. And what's going to happen here is that's a Primarina. I should have gone for a Hydro Cannon. And you're going to see how that's going to cost me. I actually don't know the Samurott versus Primarina. But Primarina is also a good pick in this cup. So Primarina is a very anti-meta pick, and there's not really anything in this cup that resists Charm. So 2-Shield Charm Strat can do very well for you. Not only that, Primarina does resist Bug, and it also gives Swampert a hard time outside of Sludge Wave and outside of Sludge Wave and outside of getting Earthquaked. As you see here, because of this, I'm going to die with 2 shields. I will save my shields for the next battle. And I thought that Samurott can take this out with 2 shields, but I was wrong. So that's a learning curve for me. But yes, in the zeros, in the 0 to 2 shield, your Samurott actually lose against Primarina. So Primarina is a pick you have to watch out for this cup. It's actually really good. Outside of seeing Tentacruel XLs, which you might not see a lot of them. It really depends. If you see some crazy person with Tentacruel XL. Tentacruel XL still loses against Swampert. It also loses against things like, as you see here, my Poliwrath. So Poliwrath can threaten it pretty dang hard. And it's very interesting. But as you see here, we got Aboma Snow into a Blastoise. Abomasnow is one of the XLs you're probably going to see the most just because it's been out for so dang long and it's been so accessible because of multiple winter events. That's how I got my Abomasnow. I just grinded when there's a bunch of freaking Snovers running around and boom, I got my XLs for it. And then we get a Feraligatr, which is also allowed in this cup. But outside of it, you definitely want to use Tapu Fini. The reason why Abomasnow XL is really great for this cup is because of the fact it beats Tapu Fini, also beats Cradily. It one-shot Swamperts. It's rough against Samurott, but you can use Energy Balls to pressure their shields. So Abomasnow is able to do really well in this cup, outside of getting lit on fire and bug types. If you see a Blaziken, it's going to suck. If you see a Talonflame or a Charizard, it's going to suck because double super effect damage. But outside of the fire type weakness that Abomasnow has, it does really well against the rest of this cup. And as you see here, I still have Swampert and I have a whole Poliwrath. Poliwrath is a fantastic closer for this cup. Outside of getting walled by Tapu Fini and Gyarados, it is able to beat. It does super effective damage against Cradily if you're able to hit it with Dynamic Punch. It loves seeing Abomasnows, and what it also loves is Dynamic Punching down a Swampert. If you have Energy Lead here, as you see here, 2 Dynamic Punches will yeet Swampert to the next dimension. Outside of the weaknesses I mentioned to you, it's very solid against Cradily, those Ice-type picks, and just with Scald, it's a monstrosity. So yes, as you see, you just saw Swampert get obliterated with Energy Lead. I'm going to go straight for the Earthquake here. There's no reason for me to shield just because Feraligatr has a crunch. Even if Debutt Swampert is thick enough, you can use Shadow or the regular one. I just used the regular one here just for the heck of it. So actually, this one already had the moveset, so I didn't want to change my movesets over from my Shadow. But regular or Shadow works anyways. For the next battle, you're going to get a very interesting... So this is Blaziken versus Swampert. This is obviously terrible for us. So as you see here, I'm going to swap into Samurott. Samurott does well against Swampert outside of getting Earthquake and Sludge Wave. You can go straight for the Hydro Cannon here. I big up to Megahorn just because, but you need to shield the Earthquake. And you're probably going to guess what I don't do here. So, as you see here, I'm going to shield this. And then this is going to be a Hydro Cannon. But MrBugThug does a great job here, and I actually get Earthquake and lose all of this energy. So I'm not going to shield this. I'm thinking it's an Earthquake. I'm thinking it's a Hydro Cannon, and boom, we get Hydro Cannon. So how do we win this? We got Swampert, and what's even worse is that MrBugThug Swampert, as you see here, it actually wins CMP. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to eat 1 Hydro Cannon. Because I'm using the regular Swampert, I'm not in a lot of danger here. I can take 1 in comparison if I was using Shadow. This Shadow Hydro Cannon will do a lot. This Hydro Cannon will do a lot though, just because Swampert has so much chip damage already. We get a Charizard, and I'm glad I didn't fire right away. But here's the problem here. I need to basically use something out of Swampert because we got a whole freaking Swampert waiting for us in the back. I'm going to send in Blaziken, and I'm going to let this through. I'm guessing this is a Dragon Claw. It doesn't feel like they got in fast enough for a Blast Burn, and it's the right call. I farted on the Charizard, and then in comes Chandelure. So this is why Blaziken is amazing in the Weather Cup, because Brave Bird will do a ton of damage against a lot of things. If you get an Abomasnow in the back, guess what? Brave Bird will wipe it from the face of the earth, and we get a Swampert. But because my Swampert has Hydro Cannon, even if this Swampert wins CMP, I still have a shield. Blaze Kick won't kill here, but that's perfectly fine. Because we have a shield, it's all good, because all I have to do is fire this Hydro Cannon, and that's GG's. Again, this is a budget pick. There's a lot of budget picks available here, and you could possibly find one. This is the best one I found just because Brave Bird is able to nuke and wipe out a lot of things in this cup. And Blaziken is pretty solid against Abomasnow, really solid against Cradily because Rock is weak against fighting. And Blaziken, Brave Bird, I already mentioned that. Next, we got Primarina onto Abomasnow. And we get a Golem. Believe it or not, a Alolan Golem is actually pretty dang solid for this cup, except you kind of want to use Volt Switch. The reason why you want Volt Switch with your is just because there's so many out here, and even if you do see a Swampert, the thing is Swampert still resists Volt Switch, and it will resist Rollout as well. What I should have done in this instance was switch to Kingdra right away. Kingdra is a fantastic safe switch here, except when you see Primarina. The problem is you have fairies. You have Primarina, you have Tapu Fini, and you have Alolan Ninetales. This is why Kingdra, although it's a great safe switch, it is very prone to getting caught So it's kind of the poor man's safe switch. If they get you, it's terrible. And not only that, I have to let go of my Kingdra here because there's no point in keeping it alive because of Primarina. I'm running double Dragon Breath here, but I really use this opportunity to show you just how Dragon Breath is kind of limited in this cup, because one Primarina is all it takes to really threaten your hopes and dreams of coming out with a W. I'm gonna go ahead and Weather Ball down here. As you see, my poor swamp, my poor Aboma Snow is just literally getting melted by these embers, and I have to deal with a whole Primarina in the back. So Primarina are just any fairy type is really good. Primarina is also a solid pick in this cup because of the fact that Primarina is water. It is also fairy. Outside of seeing something like a Tentacruel or a Tentacruel, or no, actually Tentacruel is probably your worst nightmare. Yeah. Outside of seeing a Tentacruel, Primarina with Charm is going to be very oppressive in this cup. So it's a very good idea to use. Tapu Fini is still technically better. However, fun fact, Tapu Fini hates Primarina with Charm. So if you want the better Charmer here that's more accessible, I'd say Primarina has a pretty good shot as long as you have coverage against Tentacruels. I'm going to get Psychic down. Unfortunately, there's really nothing I can do. As you see, Fairy is very oppressive. Primarina is also very great for this cup. So, again, kill Tentacruel and it can do very well for you. We got Glowseopod versus Aboma Snow. So this is terrible for us because that thing's running Fury Cutter, so I have to swap right away. This is the same exact team. I'm running Double Dragon. So if you do want to use Kingdra, there's a chance here. As you see, BugThug isn't switching out. So, but X Scissors do hurt. So as you see here, I'm actually going to bait with Octazooka. I want to try to bait and get the debuff if possible because BugThug is likely going to shield. A lot of things in this cup do not like Outrage unless it's a fairy type, like I mentioned. So dragon types do give threatened. However, Octazooka with the debuff is incredibly oppressive. And as you see, we're able to get the debuff. I'm going to go for the Octazooka, but unfortunately I'm able to. I'm just going to let this through. And I'm going to save both of my shields for both Aboma Snow and for Kingdra. I mean for Gyarados. In this case, because I got the debuff, I'm going to send Gyarados just because it's -2. And as you see here, Gyarados can basically wall Glowseopod outside getting Aerial Ace. But because it's -2, Aerial Ace isn't going to do a lot. Now I have a ton of energy on Gyarados and I have shield advantage as well. And we get it for Alligator. So for Alligator, unfortunately, doesn't do well. This is the same thing with Blastoise. But your primary water gun user is probably going to be Tapu Fini. In this case, Tapu Fini does great just because it resists everything Gyarados has to offer. So it's unfortunate. We're going to fire this Crunch. Hopefully we're going to do some big damage. And unfortunately we're not. And we're just going to go ahead and Dragon Breath down. Again, if this is a Tapu Fini, this step would be nowhere near as comfortable. But as you see, Gyarados is still really good in this cup. If you need a budget pick and if you need a fire, it beats Aboma. Outside of seeing fairies, it can do well against a lot of the rest of the meta. And like I mentioned, Gyarados does beat Kingdra if they get matched up with each other, just because Dragon Breaths will do super effective damage against Kingdra. We get a Typhlosion in the back. All I have to do is Aqua Tail, and Typhlosion's really squishy. So this might do enough damage with Dragon Breath, chunk damage to KO, and that's GG's. Thank you to BugThug again for the practice. I hope y'all enjoyed the battles. Hopefully this gives you a good idea of what to run for the Weather Cup if you plan on going there. And that's game. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope y'all enjoyed the battles. I hope all that match rambling I did too during this shoutcast helped y'all out, because after doing practice and a little bit of analysis, I'm like, wow, XLs aren't probably going to be, Swampert's probably going to be is going to be an annoying thing in this cup just because you're going to see a lot. But yeah, there's a lot of picks in here that aren't necessarily XL that could do very well. So it's going to be very interesting once the cup comes out just to see what you see. So expect Weather Cup content to come by soon. I'm also going to do Open Ultra League content, but I'm going to try to do more of a budget focused. I dropped off raiding. I used to raid really hard, but that was before XLs came out. So I'm kind of pissed off at Niantic that all my work back then didn't really translate to XLs being given, because I would have a XL Registeel, I would have an XL Deoxys defense. But yeah, thanks Niantic. We all know they just care about their pockets or wanted to reset the pockets anyway. So yes, or if you use defense, good for you. But yeah, I'm gonna try to put out as much budget picks as much as possible while this cup's out here to give y'all a chance, or you can skip this altogether. But like I mentioned before, if you watch my prior videos, you're not going to see Open Great League again until 3 weeks from now, because it's going to be 2 weeks of Ultra League, 1 week of Master League, and the week after you have the Evolution Cup. So Great League format isn't going to come back for another 3 weeks. You're stuck with Ultra League or with Master League. And I know y'all don't like that, and I don't like it either. Trust me, I really don't like it. It's part of the big problem of why this game is so hard to get people into, because it takes so much time to build a team, and it's curbing. And Pokemon Go is an esport. It's one of the lowest tiered esports in the entire realm, though. We're getting beat up by cars that kick balls, and I'm talking about Rocket League for those of you who know. And we're nowhere near tier 1 status. I don't want to be stuck at the bottom of the esports chain. I want us to progress so we can see children or adolescents going into teams and becoming, and the average age of Pokemon Go isn't 20 plus. But you know what? As long as things are like this, we can forget about that. But more of my feelings on another video. But we just hope that there's changes in the future and they don't do this to us again, because the Weather Cup, Ultra League specific formats are really dumb for Go Battle League. Do me a huge favor, please like, stream, comment, YouTube algorithm. I stream on Friday through Monday, except Monday my schedule is going to change just because I have my job, but yes, we'll see if I still stream on Mondays. But Friday through Sunday is a lock. Good luck on your Go Battle League sets. I really appreciate y'all. Good luck on your Go Battle League sets, and I will see y'all on the next video.